show, Faith in the Law.
Viewing.
And it'll
We're
be
not
great.
on radio anymore, honey.
So, yeah, I know. I'm always, we did radio for 5 years, so
Yeah.
I'm still kind of in the
Hard habit to
listening
break.
part. But you have to listen a little bit, but you view, you get to see what good-looking people we are, too. So contact us. Contact me anytime. I'll try to help you out. Any comments you have on the show, just let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. So we have a really good topic that we're going to talk about today.
Notes.
And get my old notes out, but we're going to talk about how a Christian should approach a legal problem. Now, most people approach a legal problem as the first thing that they do is pick up a telephone and call an attorney. But I think a Christian's got to approach it a little bit different. And we're going to be going through some graphics here. And the first thing that a Christian should do, our first graphic here, is you should approach the situation with no condemnation, no fear, worry, and anxiety. You must not let your heart be troubled, but rather you must cultivate a mindset of peace. That's how any legal problem should be approached. And I have a couple verses here. Proper mindset is critical. Look at Philippians 4:6. Do not fret or have anxiety about anything. 1 Peter 5:7. You can throw the whole weight of your anxieties upon him, for you are his personal concern. You're God's personal concern. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and love and a sound mind. And let the peace of Christ be in control in your heart. The peace of God is actually supposed to be the empire in your heart. From the Greek is how that is, where our decisions should be ruled not by fear, not by anxiety. And the whole world runs on anxiety. But our decisions should be based upon letting the peace of God rule in our hearts. And we've got to get the proper mindset to approach a legal problem. Because I have people call me, and some people are freaked out. A lot of people are in a lot of stress, and very much so. They're facing some tremendous legal problems. But we need to take time to just take a deep breath, try to cultivate peace in our heart as Christians, and try to look at the problem without letting all the anxiety and fear cloud our judgment. And then the second thing we need to do, and we talked about this a little earlier, is we need to pray, we need to pray, and we need to pray. Never underestimate the importance of prayer. It's our line of defense and our guidance for any legal problem. Romans 12:2 says, steadfastly maintain the habit of prayer. And then Philippians 4:16 says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for what he's done. Never forget to pray. It's our first line of defense in any legal problem and our first line of guidance. And then what we need to do, and this is really critical, because God's real concerned on our motivation and what our heart is. And you've got to examine your heart's motivation. Things like greed, revenge, pride, hate. I want to get back at this person for what he did for me. They're improper motives in response to a legal problem or improper motives to file a lawsuit. You're going to run into problems if that's your motive. Do the circumstances dictate legal action as a necessity, or is there another motive? Is there another reason why you want to file legal action? Look what Philippians says. It says, never act from motives of rivalry or personal vanity. And James 3:16 says, wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, and a lot of lawsuits are filed because of that, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. Pretty strong verse. So you need to examine your heart's motivation. Why do you want to possibly get involved in a lawsuit? And then you need to seek spiritual guidance first. I think this is important. You need to talk to God about your legal problem and ask him for wisdom. James talks about asking God for wisdom. Go to God first. Search the scriptures for guidance and wisdom. We'll be talking about a lot of topics, but the Bible has the answers for every single legal problem that you'll ever face, how to come and approach it. Counsel with your pastor and elder in the church, and quiet your heart and listen for God's voice and direction. It's wrong to say that every lawsuit's wrong, because it's not. Sometimes that's what's necessary to do, but seek spiritual guidance first. Put God first. And then what you need to do through this process is you have to control your emotions. Emotions can really cause you to go through a roller coaster of anxiety, depression in these lawsuits. God does not want you to be ruled by your emotions. Now, God loves you. He wants you to have the peace and joy that comes with knowing how to control your emotions. There's nothing wrong with emotions. God created us to love and to have these wonderful emotions as long as they're not the sole basis for our decision making. Our rage out of control, causing us to make rash judgments and decisions. In this age, people seem to no longer base decisions and actions on solid moral values. They've been programmed to act according to their feelings. And trust me, feelings will get you in trouble as you approach a legal problem. We must control our emotions, our feelings of anger, our bitterness, our jealousy, our hatred, our fear, our hurt, our hopelessness. You have to control these emotions because look what Proverbs says, 16:32. It says, "He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his own spirit than he who takes a city." You must learn how to control your emotions in life. And sometimes it's extremely difficult. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to do, but as you approach a legal problem, that's what you need to do. Now, another thing, because I get a lot of people call me, and you need to know your legal rights. Sometimes the law does not provide a remedy to a situation that may have happened. And you must understand what your rights are within the context of our legal system and how the law views your legal problem. What remedies or reliefs do the laws of the state of Indiana provide or the federal laws provide for you? Does the law have a solution for your problem? And sometimes it does not. There's things that may happen that seem unjust, but the law is the Bible as far as how to approach a legal problem. You may have a legal problem that the law doesn't provide any remedy for. So you need to know what the law is, and sometimes the best way to do this is to consult an attorney about the best course of action. Most attorneys will give you a free consultation about your legal problem. You can call me, email me, I will do the same. Look for experience, look for knowledge, look for good ethics, and look for determination in a lawyer, someone that's not afraid to fight. Because there are some lawyers that don't like to step into a courtroom, don't like to fight, don't like to battle, can't we all just get along? And sometimes that's good, but sometimes you need someone that's going to fight for you in the legal system. And remember, an attorney has to work within the context of the law and the justice that it provides. So these are some things that you need to think about. And again, when you think about a legal problem, check your heart's motivation, because out of our heart come the issues of life. And that's what's so important. And I know Jill and I have been through some legal battles together.
Yes, we have.
And I know, Jill, that it's difficult sometimes for people to grab control of their mind when they get into a legal problem.
Yes, you helped me calm down a couple times. I was just adamant to not let it be, and you were like, "It's got to be this way." But you're a great balance, and one of the few attorneys I've ever met who could truly make me chill out.
And I think that's where you have to approach the problem, because there are some attorneys that stir people up, unfortunately, that where there may not be that big of a dispute, all of a sudden the dispute's as big as the Grand Canyon because the attorney wants to make money or has some other type of improper motive. I mean, we have the greatest legal system in the world, but you approach it in a way where if you get through it, number one, it's time consuming. Number two, it can take a lot of money. And number three, it can cost time to be taken away from your job and your family. And four, it does cause some burden to be put on your shoulders. But sometimes you have to stand up, because there are defendants, there are insurance companies, there are other companies that kind of say, hey, people aren't going to stand up to the battle. So, but I think if you get God involved in it, pray, seek spiritual guidance, check the motivation of your heart, control your emotions, and then seek an attorney, I think you're going to be in a lot better position as a Christian. And I know, Jill, when we went through it, and I hope I calmed your mind a little bit when we started.